Hello, year one. I hope you're all well. Can you believe it's Wednesday again and it's time for our next guided reading session? So let's have a look at the book that we're going to be looking at today. Okay, so our learning question for today is how do brilliant readers recall facts previously read? So if we're going to be looking at facts today, do you think our book is going to be a fiction, so a storybook, or a non-fiction, a book about facts? So today our main activity is reading a section of a non-fiction book. And this is the book we're going to be looking at today. It's by an author called Emily Bone and it's called The Solar System. We're not going to read the whole book together, we're just going to look at a small section about part of the solar system together. Then our main task, we're going to be answering some questions on what we've read. And then we're going to look at the questions together and see how we find the answers. So what you're going to need today is either your whiteboard and pen to help you write down your answers, or you can use your writing book. And then as always, you need your super brain, your lovely looking eyes, and your listening ears. So let's have a look at the section that we're going to be looking at in our non-fiction book today. And I wonder if any of you can remember some features of a non-fiction book that will be a little bit different to what a storybook looks like. Okay, so in each section of our non-fiction book, we have different pages with different information on. And the title of the pages that we're going to be reading today is at the top here, and it's called Bright at Night. The moon is a big round lump of rock that moves around the Earth. It is the brightest thing you can see in the night sky. There are millions of craters on the moon. In this photo, the biggest craters look like dark patches. So here we've got a photo of the moon. Now again, that's another feature of a non-fiction book. Quite often they have more photos than drawings. So they have real life pictures, and this is a photograph of the moon. Now if you have a real close look, you can see the darker patches on the moon there. And that's the biggest craters. They look like dark patches for what we can see. I wonder if anybody knows what a crater is. Have a little think to yourself or talk with the person next to you. A crater it's like a big hole on the moon. It's like a round dish shape, and it's made by asteroids and meteorites all hitting the surface of the moon. And that's what makes the big sort of hole shape on the Earth's face. Let's continue with our reading. So as the moon moves, the sun lights up different parts of its surface. This is why the moon seems to change shape. So I don't know how many of you like to look at the moon, and each night and each day you'll see that it's slightly different, and that's where it's moving slowly round and the sun's lighting up the different parts, and that means the surface is its face, what we see. When the side facing Earth is lit up, you can see the moon as a bright circle. I wonder if anybody knows what that moon phase is called, when you can see the whole face of the moon like that. It's called a full moon. Well done if you knew that. Sometimes you can only see part of the side that is lit by the sun. There we are. Does anybody know what this phase of the moon is called? Well, we only see a little part of it there. It's called a crescent. Well done if you knew that was a crescent moon. And when the sun shines behind the moon, you can't see the bright side, so it looks dark. And that's when it's called a new moon. Now at the bottom here of our text as well, we've got a little cartoon picture, and it's got a small label with it telling us why they put that in. And it's got some more facts about the moon. In 1969, astronauts landed on the moon in a spacecraft. Okay, I hope you've been using your super listening ears, because now we're going to look at some questions together about these 2 pages from our non-fiction book. So, how do brilliant readers recall facts we've previously read? So we're going to look at some questions to give us some ideas, and we're going to use the 2 pages here on the screen to help us answer and think about the things that we've been talking about. So here we go. This is where on your whiteboard or in your book, you might want to start writing down your answers. So I'll show you there very carefully on my notebook. I've written number 1 for question number 1 that's going to come up. You don't need to write the question because it's on the screen. I just want you to have a go at writing the answer down. So question number 1, what is the title of these 2 pages? We talked about this at the very beginning. What is the title of these 2 pages? So which part is telling us about this information? You can pause the video now if you want to write it down, or I'll give you a couple of seconds. So remember, you're just writing the answer. What is the title? Okay. The title in a non-fiction book is always the boldest piece of writing that you can see. So right at the top of our page here, can you see the part that says Bright at Night? And that's our title of this part of our non-fiction book. Well done if you found that answer. I hope you managed to write it down in time. If you didn't, remember you can pause the video and play it when you're ready for the next question or the answer. Here comes question number 2. What are the page numbers? It's a strange question. What are the page numbers? If you want to have a go, have a look now and pause the video, you can. So remember, just like in a normal storybook, there are lots of pages in a non-fiction book, but there's lots of different pieces of information. So it's really important that the pages are numbered so we know where that information is. So looking at the pictures on the screen now and the pictures in my book, when we're looking for the page number, it's normally in the bottom corner. So see if you can have a look on the screen. What are the 2 numbers you see in each corner? Page number 18 and page number 19. Well done if you found that and wrote it down before me. Brilliant job. Let's have a look at question number 3. So underneath your top 2 questions, if you're writing this down, go underneath the next one, write your number 3, and here comes our next question. This one is a fact that we're looking for. This is where we start to recall our facts that we have previously read. Number 3, what are the dark patches on the moon called? What are the dark patches on the moon called? Now, looking back at our 2 pages here, I remember we talked a lot about the dark patches on this first page. We were looking a bit further down when we were reading. What are the dark patches on the moon? Remember, if you want to write it down before me, you can pause the video now. The dark patches of the moon are the biggest craters. So it says here at the bottom, the biggest craters look like dark patches. Well done if you wrote the biggest craters or if you just wrote the word craters. Fantastic job. Let's go for our last question. And again, we're recalling a fact that we've previously read. Question number 4. What year did astronauts land on the moon? What year did astronauts land on the moon? So this part, if I remember looking at our 2 pages, this was an extra bit of information. And if we have a look down the bottom, there's our picture of our astronaut. And remember we said there was a small label here telling us about this picture. What year did astronauts land on the moon? We're looking for a number. See if you can spot it. If you want to pause the video to write it down, you can now. Okay, what year do you think it was? It's a very big number. It's got 4 numbers in it. Well done if you spotted it. It's the year 1969. So in 1969, astronauts landed on the moon in a spacecraft. So for your answer, hopefully you've managed to write down that really large number down there, 1969. Well done, brilliant readers. If you've been recalling the facts you've read together already, fantastic job. Now, if like me, this little bit of information about the moon has got you thinking about some facts about the moon, or you'd like to know a little bit more, I have found some pictures and some links on the internet if you want to do some research of your own. I find the moon really fascinating, so I had a little look myself. And today, I had a look on a website from NASA, and it shows us what phase the moon is in. So this is our moon phase today. See if you can spot it later tonight. Hopefully it's not too cloudy. And it's the third quarter. Can you see here how this part of the moon is all in the dark? So we only see the third quarter where it's lit up by the sunlight. So there's lots of information on that website, or there is some more that I've put here. So if you would like to have a look with your adults and find out some more facts about the moon, we've got the phases of the moon like we've looked at today, and you can look at lots of days to see what different phases the moon will be in. And then there's a little part on another NASA website as well, and it talks about why the moon has craters and what it looks like. So well done, readers. You've done some brilliant fact recalling today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the moon and reading part of our non-fiction book. Well done if you managed to write down the answers and challenge yourself today. Great job. Continue to be the home learning heroes that you are. And I'll see you on Friday for a little bit more about our non-fiction writing. Bye, guys.